The Athletic, spoke to an anonymous NBA executive who says he would give Jonathan Kuminga $125 million over 5 years, and then compares Jonathan to Jaden McDaniels of the Minnesota Timberwolves. How do you feel about that comparison? Here's what he said. Quote, McDaniels is great in his role, but JK is more talented and has higher upside if he ever can hit.
McDaniels is better in his role. And my counter question would be, what is Kuminga's role? Now, it's not to say that he can't fill a role, but the role that Jaden McDaniels is asked to fill, he's willing and able to do that. Kuminga's asked to fill a role with the Warriors, and he's been unable to fill that role. So does that mean that Kuminga's no good? Of course not. It just means they're in different situations, and they're being asked to do different things. And Kuminga, so far, in the Warriors' eyes, has not been able to fill the role they need.
$125 million over 5 years. Now, the interesting thing is there, you'll sit there and go, whoa, 125. Everybody, if you want to do this over AAV, everybody's sort of coming around into the same spot. Like, the word is that the Warriors, I don't know how real or true or whatever, but the reports are out there that the Warriors have an offer on the table for $22.5 million a year, but only for 2 years. And one of those years probably being a Warrior option. So that's way, way, way less of a commitment, but everyone seems comfortable with this sort of between $20 and $25 million number. This executive just seems to sort of be insinuating, I would make the commitment. The interesting thing is the executive is saying, I would make the commitment, and then ends his quote with, if he can ever hit.
Right.
Which sounds like, well, why would you commit 5 years if your feeling is if?
And also, if he hits, let's just say that he hits this year, either the Warriors sign and trade him somewhere and he hits, or he figures out how to play and he actually has a great year and he hits, well, he's going to cost you more than $25 million a year if he, quote unquote, hits. And if you really like him for 5 years, then you get him for $125 and he does hit, that contract is going to be a bargain by the time you get to year 3. The way the salary cap and the aprons go up and everything goes up and up and up. If you get Kuminga for 5 years for $125, by the time you get to the end of that deal, you're probably getting a bargain if he, in fact, hits.
Right. No, completely agree, and you're still dealing with a player that won't even be all that close to his 30th birthday.
Yeah, true.
You know what I mean? So, I don't know, man. It's an interesting number. It's an interesting comparison. Jaden McDaniels is perfect in the role he plays. For those of you who don't really know, McDaniels on the Minnesota Timberwolves is kind of a, I guess you'd call him 3-and-D guy. He's long, he's athletic, he knocks down threes, but he's also somebody who can attack the rim a little bit. Very athletic player. Maybe the biggest issue I have with the comparison, again, when we say JK is more talented than McDaniels. My question whenever we do this is, okay, define talent. Are you talking about with
the ha-ha?
The ha-ha.
Yeah.
Because you know what Jaden McDaniels is? Jaden McDaniels is an elite defensive player in the NBA. Like, high bar. Elite, lockdown. That's who we're going to put on Steph Curry type of a player. And so on one side of the ball, JK is nowhere near as talented as Jaden McDaniels. On the other side of the ball, he probably has the potential to be a more versatile offensive player. I will completely agree with that. But kind of an interesting way to go about it, to say, hey, 5 years, I'll lock it up because he is definitely going to be good. Maybe.
If he hits. And that's the thing.
It's like, wait, okay.
I think it's a classic ceiling floor conversation, because Jaden McDaniels, his ceiling is probably not much higher than what we've seen. His floor is really high. You mentioned it. He's an elite defender. He was all defense second team 2 years ago. He doesn't shoot the three that well to really be a 3-and-D guy. He doesn't shoot the three very often, but what he is a 6'9", I can guard any of you defender who also has a serviceable or slightly better offensive game.
Yeah,
he's not a bad offensive player.
No, you're right. I'll take your description. He's about a 35% career three-point shooter, but he tends to almost GP2 it. He stays in the corner a lot.
Exactly.
Right? He's not somebody who's going to float around and do it everywhere, but, he's capable. He averaged a little bit over 12 points a game last year.
When he's out there, he's not going to kill you offensively.
Not at all.
He's opportunistic, and he can rebound. He can hit the open three on occasion. He can score not on all three levels, but you're not going to run your offense through him, but he'll get you 10 to 12 a game. And on the other end, he's going to be a plus defender. And if you look at how Minnesota did last year when he started every single game, and he played 32 minutes a night. So you play every game. You play in literally 75% of your team's minutes, and you just lock down the other team's best player. Yeah, I'll take what he has.
I'll take it, yeah.
No
and
doubt.
He took a huge jump last year in his rebounding. He averaged 3.1 a game at age 23, 5.7 a game last year, shot over 81% from the free throw line. And so what I'm getting at is, while I'll buy the offensive versatility idea of a Jonathan Kuminga, you know what you have in Jaden McDaniels? It's what you just said. You have a finished product. You have an all-around basketball player. And I saw someone say this sort of in the Warriors kind of social media space the other day. And he didn't name Steve Kerr, Jonathan Kuminga, but I was pretty sure that's what he was talking about.
Yeah.
And he said it this way, and I wonder how this will land with people, because this gets hot and debatable and all of that, and everybody has their side, and so I get that. But the comment was sort of made like this. It's fascinating to see a coach get criticized for wanting a player to defend, rebound, and do what they're asked to do and make the right play. Isn't that literally the definition of what a coach is supposed to do? And so that, to me, that's the rub on this whole thing. Like, those are the things that Jaden McDaniels does. And he already does them. And he's only about a year and a half older than Jonathan.
Yeah, and that is something that for players cannot be taught. Some players can learn it and adjust to it. And you have to want to play hard on defense. It's not something that comes naturally. If it does come naturally, then go ahead and do it. But other players, it's tough to encourage them to go out there and play that dogged defense unless they have it in them. And, part of it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy where if Kuminga's not playing hard on defense or playing the way you want him to play, then you play him less. And because you're playing him less, then he doesn't want to play the way you want him to play. And so then you play him less, and because you play him less, then he doesn't want to play the way you want to play him, and it becomes kind of a steamroll effect where, the player wants the minutes, the coach wants him to play a certain way, and if you are at odds, then you're in a spot where it's not going to work out.
Yep. So anyway, that's just kind of to add to the conversation today. That's a report out of The Athletic. I'm sure Jonathan and his agent are, they're clipping that and sending it all over the league if they want. It's not in any stretch going to change this conversation, and I don't think we are anywhere closer to any sort of a resolution on this, and it does not even feel like something that's going to end in the month of September. So,
and we're not even in September, Mark.
No, we're not even close to September.
Checks notes.
Yeah.
And it's great that this unnamed exec is like, yeah, I'll pay him $5 and $125, but problem is nobody has $5 and $125 right now because of that damn second apron.
Exactly.
So you can say that you want to do it, but you won't because you can't. So for Kuminga, it's like, great. Can you say that next year?
Now, I don't know if Kuminga is going to be a part of this or not, but the schedule came out today, which is always fun. Sometimes I look at this and I go, boy, we get really excited about it. Like I knew the schedule came out, and guess what? Yeah, the Nuggets are on it. So are the Pistons. Like they're all on there, and it's just dates and times and all this. So there's only a few things that are intriguing that come out of it, but I do think there are some. Yes, there's those like circle that date, and here's that holiday, and okay, that road trip looks crazy. There's stuff like that, but there's also the fact that the Golden State Warriors this year will be presented to a national audience more times than ever before in their entire history. And the NBA does have some new partners. And so that's the other thing to get to a little bit as well. And I wonder kind of how people feel about it a little bit. So in other words, lots of games that are a little bit like Thursday night football this year.
Marquee.
Lots marquee,
yep.
But also on Amazon.
Right.
On Prime Video.
And NBA on NBC is back.